Audio.
All right, they can see us at least. And
Now
yeah,
they
I
should
was
be able
gonna
to hear you.
Good.
try
They didn't hear.
to fix Spencer and Sarah's cameras so they're a little bigger and take up more of the screen. Yeah.
No, obviously not. That's gonna be a big ask.
Yeah.
Oh, why'd you do him first, Kevin? Playing favorites?
Not
Wow.
me.
Right out the gate. Wow,
Yep,
Paul.
that's tech support.
Okay, sure. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
All right.
What is it? Is it because he's a man?
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah,
is. That's what you
I
all
know it.
have in common. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Mhm.
All right.
It will always
Yep.
get better. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just.
There's nothing between here.
I was just reading stuff.
Mhm. All right. Get back to work.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Sir.
Hey, help.
That was hilarious. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna leave this running.
Just gonna mute it and I'm
All right,
gonna
bye
leave it
guys.
running.
I can't hear you, but bye.
All
All
right.
right. So we can hear him. Yes. No.
Perfect. Perfect spy.
Yeah. All right.
Oh my god, that was great.
Anyways,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
chat, as you can see, there's just going to be a couple of us. One with a pretty awesome beer.
Mhm. Mhm. It's called Bangarang and it's based off the movie Hook. So it's got Rufio on it with his fucking sword. And it's delightful. Taste of peanut butter, caramel, honey, and
No, it doesn't.
marshmallows, just like in the movie at the feast.
It's a
Mm.
hazy IPA, so no, it
It
doesn't.
no, it is not that. That's the military one I have stored away for later.
Oh, then which one's that one?
The Bangarang. It's a porter, I believe.
Oh, so still doesn't taste anything like that.
It's made in Fort Worth, Texas. It's great.
Texas. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So yeah, welcome, folks. It's going to be kind of a shorter cast and show tonight.
Definitely a smaller cast. I wouldn't say it's going to be shorter, whatever.
Well, you guys are probably going to be about a head short after this. So
That's,
let's
I
see.
mean, for him, sure, absolutely. I'm going to have collected a few, is my plan.
Yeah. So you guys remember what happened last time we were together?
Absolutely. Completely. Totally. We went and made a report to the Baron, the sheriff. There was a Nosferatu who also provided his accounting of the evening where we raided the Inquisition holding center facility type thing, and we got the werewolves to attack them and think that we busted out some of their kin, which is all good for us because we totally didn't do that. Or totally was experimenting on them before that. And then at the end of it, they rewarded us by offering us 2 different domains that we could pick from. We chose the kind of businessy center that's on the coastal part of Crescent City, and we did some deciding about like what kind of haven we were gonna have and what kind of security and what we were kind of go for, and we sort of discussed preparations for the party, talking to the prince about like how we can make it sort of a look how great the initiative is and don't you want to bask in our amazingness.
Mhm.
That's about all I remember.
Okay. So there was some more stuff. So you guys went and met with the Inquisitor, the Butcher, and Quentin managed to beat him a second night in a row as he's attempting to ghoul this Inquisitor. And you managed to get out alive.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys noticed that as you were driving away, there was some kind of sniper on the roof who was watching you leave. And then you guys had gone and talked to Mama Boyles, and
Mm.
she agreed to help you guys out with getting connected with the right sources for some blood for your party.
We might want to tell Paul that we can hear Lindsay talking over the microphone. Just hearing the.
Yeah.
And then I said, "No, bitch."
Bitch was my favorite thing just now.
So Mama Boyles agreed to help, and in return for this not only benefiting her goals of trying to become the new Keeper of Elysium, she requested a minor boon for the work that's going to go into this. And then you guys did a little planning for the party. So yep, kind of the idea of how you're going to set it up, and with the shopping mall, your new haven, the Crescent City Luxury Arcade and Apartments.
Mhm.
Mhm. And that was about it from last time. And I think we ended with you guys driving away from the Inquisitor scene.
Mhm.
Um, so we are going to pick up tonight on the following night with just the two of you at your somewhere. I don't know if you would be at the
Mhm.
Hospital Haven, the New Haven,
Mhm. I mean, I
New
also have
one?
my club.
or the club. Yep. Where would you two happen to be together at?
The
Well, the
New
only way
Haven?
Jax ever comes to my club is because he has to. He doesn't show up there to hang out.
Yep.
He's rude.
Those Tremere, they're just squares. They don't have any fun.
It's true.
Mm,
They don't know how to relax. It's a
Yeah.
fact.
So, you said the New Haven?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, we will start out with you guys at your New Haven, this multi-story shopping and convention center. I believe you guys had said that you were setting up the upper floors somewhere to be your area. Well,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
as
that
in-
seems the most reasonable.
so
There's probably going to be some like lower levels as well, because I think the garage is underground, is what we discussed.
mhm, yep.
So there's definitely going to be like a rage room, and like Quentin's probably going to make his like padded room down there, is my guess, at some point.
Mhm,
But I think our like professional living while we're awake spaces are going to be somewhere in the like residential areas, maybe towards the convention hall, like right underneath them, maybe.
Okay. So that's where we're going to open up, is with you guys in this New Haven, which is still kind of under construction with how you guys are
Mm-hmm.
getting it set up how you like. And as you guys are in your common room, whatever that will be, uh, the butler, Mr. Wiggles,
Mm-hmm.
actually comes in. It's like, excuse me, Jax,
Mm-hmm.
your sire is here.
Okay.
He would like to speak with you. Can I bring him in?
Yes.
Okay. And he'll turn and walk out. And a minute later, he walks back in with your sire, the Primogen of Clan Tremere, Primogen Marcus Sims. And
What is the polite move here? Is it to stand? Is it to do like a nod? Like what's the etiquette
Yep.
here?
So for you, it would be definitely standing and um, acknowledging him when he first walks into the room because he's a primogen of
Mhm.
much higher status than you, and you know usually you would wait to sit until they sat, or at least offer them a seat and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm assuming you.
Yeah.
Okay. With
Because like
Jack,
she goes to meetings with him also when Jax isn't there, so she follows the normal protocols.
yeah, with Jax, it's a little bit more lenient because it is your sire, but they, you know, still expect some courtesy. So as your sire walks in. Uh, he definitely seems to be in a good mood, and he
Mm-hmm.
smiles like, "Hey, Jax, thanks for meeting me. I hope I'm not interrupting you guys.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, I know you guys are pretty busy with everything going on. Nice new place you got here.
Seems to be.
Much better than your old place."
A lot easier on the walkability of it as well.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. No offense. There's a reason I never actually came to your old place. Yeah, but that's not why I'm here. Um, Jax, I actually wanted to talk to you about some stuff you have coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you want to talk in private or if we're safe to talk in front of your coterie.
I mean, I don't know why we have to step away. I believe
Okay.
I know what it is to talk about.
It is about the trial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You get arrested?
I've talked about it.
A little
She
bit.
sort of she sort of smirks like, I made a joke.
So he comes over and he'll take a seat near you guys, and it's like, so your trial's coming up,
Mm-hmm.
and gotta say you're pretty ready for it. Think you're gonna do well, but there are some areas where I failed, and I probably didn't teach you as much as I should have. Didn't really encourage you to explore the certain areas as much. But we don't exactly have time to go over that. Um, Such as your ability to perform different rituals.
Mm-hmm.
So, to be frank, I'm a little worried about that because that is one thing you will be tested on.
I've definitely sacrificed in some areas to
Yes.
push forward in others.
Luckily, there's one last thing I can do to help you with this. Uh, do you remember the you remember the folks I have that can help me out
Mm-hmm.
with all my research and rituals and all that? The Drucheski family?
Mm-hmm.
Well, uh, at this point, I'm think you're ready to have one of them come work for you.
Okay.
And out of character,
Mhm.
what he would be referring to is there is a family of revenants that work for the Tremere, and the revenant is an old bloodline of where the Zamitsi took ghouls and made them breed with each other and did all sorts of experiments like that. And instead of them breeding a mortal, they ended up having a revenant, which is a mortal with kindred-esque blood in it. So they're
Oh,
not quite a ghoul, not quite a vampire.
okay. I've read those fantasy books. Absolutely.
Yep.
We have a bane or a blade on our hands. Okay.
hmm And but this family uh basically joined up with the Tremere to get away from the Zamitsi.
It's a good call.
And in return, they have basically just always been there to help and support the clan in anything. So they do a lot of research and a lot of the maintenance and mechanically, what this will do for you is you will now have more or less a 3-dot retainer who can assist you in any blood sorcery rituals that you perform and will give you bonus dice in that ritual because
Mm.
they know a whole shit ton of the rituals and how they work. And even though they don't have the power to do it themselves, they know basically how it works. So
So I
mechanically,
know the chances of Saoirse knowing anything about those people is very low. But what
yeah,
do I have to roll to have a
you
chance
can
on this?
roll intelligence plus occult plus kindred lore.
Okay. Okay. Intelligence, occult. I think I only have one in kindred lore. Yeah. Okay. That's two.
Okay, yeah, unfortunately, uh, the best that you could come up with is it's some weird Tremere ghouls. They're
Cool. Ooh, I got the ghouls part though. That's cool. I'll take it.
What's your best guess? Yeah, they if they're a servant for the clan, they must be ghouls.
Awesome. Okay, done.
Um, so yeah, so looks to you, Jax. Like, what do you think?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Are you worried about this trial coming up, or you think you're ready for it?
I think I'm ready.
Well,
Not sure how it's scored, if it's a have to succeed in everything, but I'm gonna try.
hmm, well, you're in a unique spot because uh, the prince hasn't really been making our younger kindred or younger Tremere do the, any of these trials for a long time. Uh,
So what does that mean? That she's making Jax do it.
well, as you know, there's the Archons in town,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them is of Clan Tremere, and they
Mm-hmm.
outrank her.
Mm-hmm.
So, tied up in that is we're having to go through and catch up on all of these. But for you,
I
Jax,
see.
uh, you would have already been through 3 different sets of trials at this point. So for you, they're going to put all of them at you at once.
Oh, this is the
So,
Archons requiring this.
yes.
Hmm.
So, just be prepared. Fortunately, giving you this help is the best I can do, because as soon as you start the trial, I won't be able to do anything for you. Won't be able to tell you anything. Can't give you any guidance. You will be on your own. But he pulls out a piece of paper and hands it to you, and it has a phone number and an address on it. It's like, this is how you can get a hold of Mr. Drucheski. And yeah, if you have any issues, let me know.
All right.
And he's gonna get up and nod and like just head out.
Oh, you really feeling good?
Yeah. About as good as you could, right?
I mean, your mentor just said they totally didn't teach you a huge portion of the test. Don't know that I'd feel great.
Yeah, it's you could say I've done independent learning in other areas, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. At this point, I'd say I've definitely done more than most, if not all, other. And he rolls his eyes and he puts his hands up and does a young Tremere. Done way more than any of them, and hopefully that shows through and is at least considered. It won't be, but
No, you're right. They're old shitheads. They ain't gonna. I
losing
mean, they might
not
weigh
not
some things
checking all of those
differently.
boxes in that whatever room it's going to be done in, checking all the boxes in that room doesn't add or take away from the fact that I've already done these things. I've lived through them, and it's
What exactly happens if you fuck it up? Like, do you retake the test? Do they kill you? Like,
I doubt that they kill him, because that doesn't sound like a way to continue a lineage, if you ask me.
mhm.
But also, I'd say across the board in every clan, the old ways were pretty fucking stupid, if you ask me.
Yeah. People hold on to traditions, though. If anything, I know about
Until they
people.
can't. Until they
True.
can't. And
True.
certain people in our way of life, or unlife, and he rolls his eyes again, like, I hate talking about this shit, have learned those lessons harder than others, willingly or
Tremere.
not.
Tremere especially.
So, I know that if I would have been around back then, not that I would have had much of a choice, but probably wouldn't have sat right. And I would definitely have a lot less overall pride in what I was if I would have been around back then.
Can't blame you.
So, regardless of how it goes and regardless of what's tested and what I do and don't manage, it's not going to take away from the fact that I have taken it upon myself to push forward in certain avenues and gone well above and beyond And if I didn't read a couple of history books, then oopsies.
Well, what do you need from me before going into this?
It'd be really stupid to ask for some history books now.
I mean, you are the one that maintains the library, so yeah, kind of. Pretty sure your group wouldn't just let me have a card on that one either. But if you need me to crack somebody's head open, take some books, kind of got you there.
Tell you what, I'll go and I'll ask if they have them, and if they're difficult, I'll call you.
Sounds good.
Okay. And then he will go and do some reading.
Okay. So there.
He was given like footnotes, right? Essentially, like this is what is probably going to be talked about, or something like that.
A study guide?
Yeah,
a study guide?
a syllabus, a study guide.
Kind of, yeah. Your sire being who he is, and like, he can't help himself but to teach people, and but to like dump information on people, and so he would have given you like rough ideas of what's going to be there.
I'm also loving that everybody did what I said to do, and they downloaded an add-on 7 TV. There's like animated emotes and stuff, like somebody behind a steering wheel going like, or dancing birds and stuff. It really adds to the whole situation.
Oh, okay. So I don't have that add-on, so all I see is party parrot steer.
Oh, so yeah, you just see the words.
I just see the
Yeah,
words.
same here. Yeah.
So it's called, it's the number 7 and then TV, and it's like a browser add-on.
So what does Billy Approve look like?
It's a really buff dude like this going.
Right, that would add a lot.
All right. So yeah, so you would know for your upcoming trial that there's multiple stages to it. One is you're expected to demonstrate your mastery of blood sorcery. Then you're going to need to demonstrate your master knowledge of history and of your clan. So, and then they're going to be taking a look at your leadership and political ability, and what your ambitions are, and how that dedication affects the clan. And then they have a field mission for you.
Ooh.
But you weren't told anything about that. Just that you're going to be expected to go. You're going to have to go out into the field and do some stuff. And
solo? Or can he prep how he likes?
They didn't say. But at the end of it, you have to perform a pretty massive ritual that if you fuck up, it will kill you.
Nice.
And anyone else in the room with you.
Nice.
So. Yeah.
So I really just need to work on that ritual.
Have you heard of the Ritual of Life?
I have, and it's amazing.
It is.
Would do many times a day, actually.
So, if you're ready to begin, we can start the first half of your trial today.
Sure. Let me look up Ritual of Life.
Oh, yeah, no.
You won't find it. You won't. You might, but you won't.
Yeah, I had an old D&D character who, was
They were a cleric.
an orc cleric
Mm-hmm.
who worshipped like the ritual of life, which was really just snoo snoo.
Banging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if
So
I
she-
fuck that up, I die, and so does the other people in the room.
Down her blades. It's
That's the one.
I guess.
Fatal.
I guess it's not instant, but yeah, essentially,
Yeah.
Mhm.
that is what happens.
That is eventually what happens.
Or you wake up the next day and wish you were dead. You see who's there, but you know.
My
It's
favorite thing is
sudden-
that cleric was like 8 months pregnant while on adventures.
Yeah.
It was amazing. She's amazing.
Yep.
She fathered a whole line of powerful orcs.
Yep.
So many. So many.
Slept with so many
So
people.
many.
So many
She
lines of
slept
half
with-
orcs.
She slept with so many like angels and anything that fucking moved, dude. Like
were
she
they full-blooded orcs at first?
Oh yeah. Yeah, she was a full-blooded orc. And so
Oh.
anything she slept with.
Became a half orc.
then a half orc.
Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
Okay, so she was a full-blooded orc. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say like, Jesus, she could go for another one after being
Yeah.
torn asunder.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is a good
after being
good cleric.
ripped from navel.
She's
to
a
nearly
great
kneecap.
cleric.
Yep.
She's a great cleric. Okay.
Yeah.
Is favorite ritual.
Oh yeah. All right. So the scene here is going to shift, and not quite sure what I'm doing with Saoirse yet.
That's fine. I have many things to do.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So we will be shifting over towards Jax, who's AFK.
Saoirse is gonna ask Quentin to change her face dramatically.
Okay.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know what you did to get the lights, the sign to stand up. But it fell.
Sure did. It was
Yeah,
very precarious.
Yeah, it fell off the wall earlier. So.
Mhm.
Okay. Actually, we'll start with if I can just get a quick idea of what you're wanting to be doing with Saoirse.
She would like to
Then I
become
can
more
kinda-
human, get some humanity around here.
Oh,
So
you're using this as an opportunity to. You're trying to grind your whoopsie away.
yeah, I
Okay.
am, dude. Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So
that I can work.
with
I was
new
wondering why
face,
you wanted to like be included in this whole thing so bad.
I
And it's
need that.
because-
I
it's
need
'cause
that for.
You had stuff. I need
I got
something.
some stuff, dude.
I got some shit to work on.
A little bit of trauma to like rub
Yeah.
out. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
And put a little
Ritual of
band-aid
life.
over. Hmm.
You get it.
So like
Yeah.
legitimately, like Saoirse with new face could go to the the NA meeting and fuck her ex-boyfriend right now. So she would totally want to do that.
Hmm.
Not necessarily
Yeah.
fuck her ex-boyfriend. She wants to be around him. If it leads to that,
Hmm.
oh no.
Okay.
You know, my opinion of who's the most mentally unstable of the coterie is starting to shift.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
There's a reason why she doesn't see any problem with Quentin, like being the way Quentin is.
Yeah.
Neither does he. Neither do I. But I
course.
understand what he is, and it makes sense.
What's funny is Saoirse easily could have been at Humanity 2 by now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She
Easily.
recovered some, but
What what's the problems for being Humanity 2?
at that point,
you're basically a goblin.
At that point, I am likely to take your character away from you and just consider them an NPC because at that point,
You can't be trusted.
Not
at that
even.
point, you're yeah,
You don't.
you're such an
Don't.
asshole and such just a calloused, hardened monster that it's kind of like being the chaotic evil party member when everyone else is like at least lawful neutral. It just
'Cause you're
so
You'll
different
just suck
and
the life out of everything.
just too many issues.
Mhm.
It's being the glass is always empty guy in a room full of optimists.
You're
Yeah.
the person emptying the glasses.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
party needs a pooper. That's why they invited you.
Uh, uh, but yeah, no. Once you hit like 2, possibly would take the character away, unless maybe if you're really comfortable role playing,
A monster?
getting into really dark places.
Mhm.
A really callous dickhead.
Yeah.
Mhm. She was a 4 and could be a 3 pretty quick. Like, it was not far away. Like, she had to go down a very spiritual path to get back to 5, and now she's
Yeah,
trying to
you
do it
did.
the other way.
That's
Mhm.
that's true. You lost the same amount of humanity naturally as I did for eating somebody.
So, like, my hunting style took 1 from me, and then a couple oopsies took a few more from me.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you were just trying to regularly feed, right?
This last one,
Yeah.
yep. Mhm.
Killed the man.
I was real upset that one of my coterie members was murdered, and she did not care, and it showed.
Yeah. In the book Humanity 2, their description basically says what nobody counts but you. Was it mortal meat sacks just getting your way of feeding? And
The rules are there to slow you down, kind of thing.
yeah, and you get a 6 dice penalty to interacting with any mortals.
You just literally can't go out.
That
Can't.
that reflects how much the beast has taken over and how your body language and everything just
that you're feral. You're a
you're a
wild animal.
predator
Yeah. Yeah.
and you can't hide it anymore. So that's why it's about the time I start taking it away.
You'd be like, okay, I didn't realize that we had an Ian.
Worse. So okay. So we will shift our scene here and go to the Chantry, where Jax will be sitting in an office, one that he is familiar with, as it is the office of Magister Justice Harland, the homie that helped you learn the last little bit of your Levenbolt skills. And he welcomed you in, gave you the small talk, chit chat, and everything. And he begins to transition into where we begin. And says, if you are prepared and have nothing else you would like to do, we will begin your trial.
I'm
Do you have
ready.
any questions?
Um,
How many hunger dice do I have?
I have 5 and they've never been rolled.
You'll be starting at 1 hunger, because
Okay.
it's fair enough to say that you would have had time to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been time skips and stuff enough at this point that
Yeah.
I'm bound to not pass a feeding roll one time or a rouse check.
I am just upset that my mic was muted when you said it's been, and I couldn't say 1 week since you looked at me. So
It's been.
I'm out. It's been.
Yep. You can't just say 1 week. You have to do the it's been. But yes, we have Paul sent Sarah and I Vampire the Masquerade specific dice sets. So we actually have hunger dice now.
Which I'm going to be needing you to make a roll here in a minute. So Justice puts his hands on his desk and leans forward towards you, and he's like, "So, to begin your trial, we begin by taking a look at where you've been."
Okay.
And with that, he goes quiet and just stares at you. And I need you to make a composure
Oh, is he going
plus
into my mind?
subterfuge. Composure plus subterfuge roll.
Okay.
This is not going into the mind necessarily.
And I roll my hunger die with it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That is 5 successes, and I crit on my hunger die. It was the Ankh with 2 fangs.
Okay. So you had that and
a crit on a regular die.
okay. So yeah, that is indeed a messy critical. And you had a total of 5?
Mm-hmm.
Well. As he stares at you and his eyes kind of glaze over, your beast begins to kind of freak out and panic. Because you know that he is using a power of the blood upon you.
Mm-hmm.
What is Jax's emotional state right now?
He doesn't panic. He's calm, if that's what you're asking.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He's calm, and he's basically using this opening bit as like, okay, let's see what this is all gonna be about, because he doesn't have any frame of reference, so he's just approaching it all like, we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And so your beast is trying to get you to actually like panic and do something, because it knows that Justice is using auspex on you.
Mm-hmm.
And you have secrets you don't want him to know subconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
There's things that you've done that can get you killed.
Mm-hmm.
And as Justice leans back in his chair and his eyes come back to normal. He asks, "Who was it?"
Hmm.
And you could feel
He
that you
could.
were on the verge of your beast causing issues, but it won't in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
But it is definitely telling you, like, you best be careful. You're going to get us killed.
Okay. Um. So I'm assuming that Homeboy knows that I diablerized somebody.
Yes, you would know that he, based on how he appeared and what he's saying, he likely used Scry the Soul,
Mm-hmm.
which allows him to see your aura and the black veins that are pulsing within it from the diablerie.
So it isn't a lie to say that it was the Elder, because this would be around the same like time frame that you'd be able to see it.
Mhm.
So it's not lying to say that.
It is deceitful, so it would require a manipulation subterfuge roll.
Okay.
So go
I
ahead and
just
make.
mean like I just mean that it when he said who was it, he's answering
Mhm.
this is somebody that I did diablerize.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's
still,
just probably not the one that you're seeing.
yeah, it still is a little bit of a manipulation
Mhm.
there. So
So manipulation and subterfuge.
yes,
And I can't do any like surges, right? Because that would be weird.
you can always do a blood surge because, like,
They expect you to use everything you have, right? In the trials.
well, yeah, they aren't gonna think twice about you doing something like that.
Okay. I just don't want to get caught for diablerizing Crucio right now.
Mhm.
That would suck. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and that adds 3 die. So I'll roll to see if I get hungrier, and I crit. So, nah.
Okay,
Thank
you
God.
don't get hungrier, but now you can add that bonus to your manipulation for this scene.
Okay.
So in essence, the power of your blood is taking over control and helping you control your, like, micro body movements and your posture and all of that.
To appear calm and collected.
Yeah, and keeping your voice steady and all those little things.
So we are rolling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're rolling 10 dice.
Bam.
My blood surge adds 3, and normally with my subterfuge and composure, or manipulation and subterfuge, I roll 7.
Pretty good.
I have 4 dots in lying.
Yep. And who knows? How well you can lie might be part of the test.
Woo. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. God. So at first I thought it was a crit on the red die. It's a normal one, but I did get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I crit on 2 black die.
Okay.
So that's a total of 8.
All right. Damn.
Who
So
was it?
he.
Who's who? Me?
Yep.
What?
So-
Your mic cut out.
So yeah. So what do you
think-
say?
Because you get 4 for a crit.
Tilt your microphone up.
You get 2 extra for a crit.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I didn't count the 2 that I crit on, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, you're right. So it's 10.
Okay. Damn. Yeah. So yeah. What do you say to him when he asks who was it?
I explain when I was first introduced to a coterie. Within the first several evenings, I went on a blood hunt for a very powerful vampire, and it seems that perhaps there was something lingering in me that I hadn't fully explored yet. Even now, I was so young that I didn't think about the long-lasting effects. So if I appeared off guard by the question, it's because of that.
He just nods. All right. Then that answers that. So if you'll follow me, we will head down to
That was it. That was the whole
Training.
question.
At 10 successes. Like, yeah, that's beyond impossible.
I feel like another way to answer that would have been like one of the freedom fighters. Like, just be like, yeah, we have an open contract on them. I fucking got one. Fuck them.
But
Yeah,
that'd be a bold-faced lie, and I would have
Indeed,
wasted.
which you would have done beautifully.
Yeah, I told a half truth, and I did it even better.
And yeah, since he actually knows a bit about what happened there, he knows that a diablerie had occurred that night, based on because the prince was there and witnessed it, but she technically doesn't know which one of you actually diablerized the person.
Because right up until the very final moments, it was either of us.
Yeah, and she couldn't tell it. So
A lot of important people died that
Yeah.
evening, right,
And
Saoirse?
it was a blood hunt, so you're safe.
Whew, that was a bad evening for some people.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a really bad night.
Oh yeah.
For those of you who were not present because it was not on stream when that happened,
Yeah.
I stole a library.
You did. That was great. Saoirse threw it out a window for you. You're welcome.
True story.
My primogen was murdered during that. Like,
murdered.
murdered. Fucking Serafina intentionally let her boyfriend die in front of her, knowing that my primogen is a fucking rage monster. And yeah. So,
Was it intentional though?
yes, it fucking was.
Was
We
it?
were like, this
was it?
bitch is a traitor. We need to think about this. And then later we realized, she's a revolutionary. She's not a traitor.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
So was it on purpose?
Was. It fucking was. She
All's
fucking
fair.
knew.
All is fair in the quest for power.
Yep.
According to your clan, yes.
We're very
They
good
were
at it. To this
if they
day.
were just a little
Very good
stronger,
at it.
they wouldn't have died.
My primogen was murdered. Did I do that? Oops,
Hey,
all
listen,
Tremere.
she was on the wrong side. Cool. All right. It's fine. Also, she got fucking murdered by your lady. I didn't say the B word. I said lady.
She was on the wrong side, though.
Mhm.
Just so that's anyway. That's neither here nor there. That's that
Yeah.
night where you lost everything, and a crisis of faith because you ate a ghoul.
Well,
A white.
it
Wasn't it a
eat a
white?
white. Yep, it was a white. Yeah, eating a ghoul wouldn't have really done
Spicy.
too much. Yeah. So the scene shifts towards Jax and Justice standing in what looks like a large gymnasium, and they usually call it like the battle room. And this is one of the mini rooms that they have for practicing and learning blood sorcery. So you know that the walls are fully warded against blood sorcery escaping in any way. It's warded against everything imaginable, basically. So it's really contained.
It's like a
And
bomb testing site.
yeah, pretty much a magical bomb
Nothing.
testing site.
Yeah, nothing's getting out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. So and up on one side there is a windowed section where people can watch. And standing there, you see the Archon and the Prince. So, Archon David West, who you've encountered a few times. First time you met him was when you happened to be in the Chantry heading towards the Prince's office. And he was leaving her office and grabbed your arm and looked at it in disgust and then kept walking. So him and the Prince are standing there.
Yeah, it's a dirty word on my arms.
And they are both like stoic and stone faced. And in the room with you, oh, I've got to adjust one thing. Got to double check how power works.
I realized I was muted. I said, "It's your daughter."
Yes.
She was also a vampire the entire time.
Yeah.
And you failed
Mm-hmm.
to bring this forward. And now she's getting skyrocketed to the top.
Mhm.
Like a true Tremere.
God bless her.
She sold you out. So
God bless her.
yep.
Apple, tree.
Did the apple even fall off of the tree?
No, it floated above the tree, actually.
It became another tree while on the branch.
So the Magister looks at you and gestures towards a couple of mannequin-looking items that are made of like supernatural stone, basically, so that they are far heavier than they should be. And he says, "This is where you get to demonstrate your mastery of your blood sorcery." And starting out, we will we will go with the mentalism path to begin with.
First of all, I love the description for mentalism that it says masquerade threat low to extremely high.
Mm. Yeah.
Because it's either nothing, like moving a pen just a little bit so that I can reach it, or it's lifting like a 2-ton rock off the ground
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
going like this.
Mhm. So for this, they're basically going to have you go through all of your discipline powers and use all of them.
The ones that I know.
Yes. And most of them we're not going to worry about you having a roll or anything for, as
When did you
that would
fix
just
that again?
that would just drag on. So with this test, your ability to use movement of the mind, you've had it long enough that you're able to.
Mind.
Use your mind powers? Yeah.
Yep.
Nope. Move your head back. Mind powers. Oh, it's happening. It's happening.
Get it. Get it. Up, you failed. But yeah, so you easily can demonstrate your ability with mentalism, as it is still very low level. Your ability to manipulate this heavy item from afar and using your unseen strength to boost your own strength to then manipulate this thing. They don't really say much as you accomplish the tasks. They just simply move on to the next one. At which one of the ghouls come out with a small little like TV dinner tray thing and set it in front of you. And on it there is a little dish with some blood. And he asks, "Tell me everything you can about this."
Okay.
As we now begin to test your knowledge of the path of blood.
Okay. Which is one that I want to progress more in, simply because the level 5 power is probably the most horrible thing you can do to a vampire.
Which one?
For Path of Blood, the level 5 power, where you basically boil them alive from the inside.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
That one, and then the Path of Curses, I'm like, oh, I can see why we don't do that one anymore.
Yeah.
That's bad. Go to your true age. Oh.
Yeah.
Dust.
There actually is a Tremere here in the city who has been learning that path and can do some of it. So it's out there.
Must make new friends. Okay.
So with this one, I will have you make the roll for this.
Mm-hmm.
There's no rouse check. It is
Okay.
simply the resolve plus blood sorcery for that path.
That is 4.
Okay. That is enough. In which you are able to determine that this blood did come from a kindred.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's like wine tasting.
Yeah.
Mm.
You determine like what type of creature it is, so it's a kindred, and the potency of their blood. Which you know that this is a kindred who's just a little bit more potent than you.
Just a bit more potent than me.
Just a little bit. Can't quite get the exact, but it's probably within one or two dots
So,
of potency.
so player to player, is it my sire's blood?
It is indeed your sire's blood.
Because I was like, dang, I'm level 3 potency, so just outside of it? So it's got to be somebody kind of close.
And you know that the only reason your sire's blood is actually more potent than yours right now is due to his age. And, perhaps a diablerie here or there. You never know. He's been
Who's
around
to
a
say?
while.
Who am I? Who am I to
Yeah.
judge, honestly?
Yeah.
2 in the span of 3 years? Who am I to say anything?
Yeah.
Almost 2.
So what do you tell the Magister about this?
So the player wants to describe it like a vintage of wine. Like, I'm getting
Mhm.
notes of this and this, but that's not really what the Tremere are. And there's some pretty serious ones that are watching. So I'm trying to be as, like, stone-faced and just here is just the information that you're looking for. No fat, no bullshit. And then I'm gonna guess whose it is,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna say his name.
And
Marcus Sims. And I'll throw in something like, I know it well because it's what created me.
good. What else can you tell us of this book? Is there more you can do, or is that it?
Is there anything I can do without just level 1 taste for blood? Because I only
No,
I have 2 dots.
Yeah, there's like rituals and stuff that allow you to learn more about blood and that you go back quite a ways, but they're not ones that you have. So
Yeah. Like I said, I have definitely sacrificed my growth in certain areas to leaps and bounds in other ones.
Yep. And this is one of those times where it shows.
Mm-hmm.
And
nothing wrong with that.
Yep. Justice, the magistrate doesn't really react in any negative way. Just nods. It's all right. Then we'll move on to the next phase.
Oh shit! I didn't even look at the title, Sarah. You're right. Uh-oh.
Yep. Then I don't know how he would say this, but more or less he asks you to use your next step of blood blood sorcery, which would hint at using extinguish vitae,
Extinguish. Okay.
and to use it upon him.
Okay. So extinguish vitae is I make somebody hungrier, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
So you are more or less souring the blood within them, causing them to not be able to use it and become hungrier.
Write that down, Sarah. Could always do it. Oh, you're four dots of hunger, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And now you're 5, and you frenzy in a mall. Oh.
Like, legit though, if you really wanted to do it, you
That'd be how to
could
do it.
try. and then you should be very far away from her because she's very dangerous.
I don't think I have to be close. That's what's really spooky about it. It's like just within line of sight is what I have ever seen described.
Yeah. Yeah,
Tremere are spooky.
the victim can figure out who it is that's affecting them,
Thank you for
as
the
long
bit,
as
Crystal.
they can see the user of this power and make a roll. But so it is a
You
-9.
definitely
Thank
want
you.
to be very safe from me if I can figure out who did it to me.
The only Tremere that you know.
And if you even know what's going on.
True.
You get hungry a lot.
True.
I push myself for the group.
It's easier now.
Gavin just said, well, true.
All right.
Push
Go
yourself
ahead
for the
and
group. That's also true.
make your intelligence and blood sorcery check.
Okay. So I'm gonna do another blood surge. I'm gonna just try to like keep this stuff going.
Okay.
If these are the trials.
Yes.
Right?
You are now in the trials.
Yeah, like I'm not wanting to bare minimum any of these anymore.
And this is a good time to do this because it will last this entire scene.
Mm-hmm.
And this will boost your intelligence.
Nailed it. So that goes from 5 to 8 die. Six. Yeah, 6.
So as you're using your ability here, what's that look like for you?
For extinguishing Vitae.
Mhm.
So I think I've only ever tried to do this once before, and it might have been towards Simon when I first met the guy.
Uh,
Because, and yeah, when I first met the guy, I was already like, I don't like Toreador.
Mhm.
One.
Yeah,
And
he was
two,
being like really rude to
yeah, and
Sophie.
two, this guy's already a bit of a prick.
Yeah.
And I used it on him, and he completely averted eye contact because that's what it takes. I described it as my eyes go completely red, and it's like almost as while it's draining out of my eyes, it's going into theirs. Is how it looks. So as my eyes go back to normal color, theirs fill up and become red.
Okay. And as it does that, or as you do this, you do see that his eyes do become.
Ew. Yeah, we're vampires. We're gross.
Yeah, they do become swelled up with the thick red vitae, which then begins to just like dissipate. And he has that look of like being constipated and taking a massive shit. So he's
Yeah.
got that like really focused, really pushing.
Upper body muscles tense.
But
Like,
yeah, trying not to scream.
Mm-hmm.
It's
The
like,
look of discomfort.
yeah. And it's like, okay, good, we're good.
Yeah, trying not to scream for being constipated. That's a good one. That's a really good analogy.
Yep. Yeah. He's like, all right, next one. We'll move on. Yeah. Let's move on to your 11 volt. Excuse me, 1 second. Kind of like straightens like his collar hat. It's like, okay.
Grabs a little flask.
Yep. So with this one, he is already aware what your powers are going into this, and with this, he has been prepared.
Is it
So
is it complete common knowledge that I have mastered it? Because that happened like a day or two ago.
it is not fully common knowledge. Like the prince knows because you're working with the
I-
person who helped you master it.
I also for sure told her.
Yeah.
For sure. It's like, I did it. I did
Yeah.
it. That thing we've been working. I totally did it.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be common, so only like the higher ups of the Tremere would know.
Okay.
So it's like your sire, Justice, the Prince, and the Archon, and maybe a couple others. But so with this, they go through your lower levels of Path of the 11 Volt, and they have you do things such as they have you completely bound and demonstrate your ability to get out of it with your frictionless mobility. And
Which doesn't require a roll, by the way.
Yep. And they basically have a station set up so that you can not only tell them what you see beyond a wall, but also what you're hearing being discussed in that room, which is easy enough with your powers. And then the for Zeus's Fury and Redirect Lightning, they kind of combine those into one. And they ask you to go for it and basically blow something up.
Mm-hmm.
So with this, they're asking you to use your Redirect the Lightning, which
And I do
will
just because
be
because we talked about it when I leveled it up. I don't need to draw from anything. I can draw electricity from the air around us.
you have determined, like, connected enough with your blood and electricity that you are able just to pull it in from everything that's around you. And you don't even need to take as much time to do it like you used to. Especially not if you're in a building like this, which does have some electricity going through it. If you were out in the woods in the middle of nowhere, it might take a turn to do it. But here it's easy enough. You just soak it in and go. Kind of like quick draw. So with this, I'll have you make your 2 rouse checks for this power. Actually, okay, this will work. Yeah. So with them, they actually have one of those, what are they, the Tesla coils?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So they actually set up Tesla coil specifically for this for you.
Okay.
And it's all the way across the room from you, and they ask you to do your thing. So it's 2 rouse checks.
Okay. Passed on the first one. I'm gonna roll a second die. And so I get one dot hungrier.
Okay. And then you make a resolve and blood sorcery roll. And
1, 2, 3, and then. So what do I add? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I'll just add 3 dice to this because I'm.
well, you haven't boosted the resolve yet. You would have to make another check to boost the resolve.
Oh, I thought I boosted sorcery. Never mind. You're right.
No, you can only boost your attributes, so your intelligence.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
Yep.
3 dice for resolve, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 11 bolt.
And then because of your blood potency, you do add that 1 extra die.
Oh yes.
And Nova mentioned that they had recently used a decreased difficulty.
Reduce
we
the
need
die difficulty,
use
which
it.
I'll do that on this one, just because I want this to be like a
Okay.
thing, you know.
Yes.
So I 1, 2, 3, and then I 4, 5, which were crits for a total. That's 7. But I also got this bad boy.
The skull.
Yeah.
So that is basically a 1. But
But that doesn't affect the roll.
Correct, because you did succeed.
Okay.
Now, if you had failed your roll, that would be bad.
Okay. So yeah, so 7, and I will use the reduced difficulty.
Okay. So with this one, we'll actually save that reduced difficulty, because with this power, and the fact that you're targeting more or less a stone statue,
Mhm.
the difficulty is set at 1, and the target doesn't really get to dodge because it's too erratic to try to get away from. So as you do this, the lightning from this tower says it smashes into your target, and anything and everything that is within a 3-meter radius of it is hit, causing massive damage. So you can describe a little bit of what that looks like if you want.
For I want it to be like not as comical or cartoony as Sith lightning,
Mhm.
but that's kind of what it looks like. And instead of coming from the fingers, it comes from the palms of the hands. So, like sticking hand out, and it comes from around this area in the center,
Mhm.
not the fingertips, because that's dumb. And he does out of both hands, and it comes out and it connects and becomes one singular beam.
Do the eyes on your arms also like sort of like? Does it like chain through them?
Yes.
Mhm.
Like
Mm.
the eyes start to glow, and then as it leaves my body down my arms, they go dim. And then after I'm done, they like flicker a little bit.
Mhm.
Because we are anime characters, everybody.
Yes.
All of us are anime characters.
And
Saoirse is Jessica Jones. End of the day.
and with this blinding light, the statue that you target basically just explodes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not much more proof that he needs. He does seem a little impressed with this one. And yeah, he kind of leans in and he's like,
Is he trying not to show it?
yeah.
Okay.
He does lean in and he's like, God, I
Well,
love that.
goddamn. Well, goddamn.
That one's, God.
That's it. That's the stuff right there.
Yeah. Okay. Game face. All right.
Sarah, the equivalent of the like.
No, dear God,
Did you
no.
see it? Did you see it? It was real quick.
No, definitely like more he adjusting himself down low because he's like a little woo turned on.
Yep.
Goddamn, I love what we are.
Love my job. I get to watch this shit all the time.
I get to see what we can do all the time.
Yeah. So that he's like, good job. And going through all of this would have taken an hour or so. And surprisingly, you are not too hungry from it.
Thank God.
And so it's like, at this point, you can take a short break and we will reconvene in he basically gives you a room number.
Okay.
And this is an opportunity for you to feed if you need it. And with it being in the chantry, they would be able to supply some food for you
Yeah,
as part
I'll
of the
do that.
trial. So they don't want to test how well you can frenzy. Yeah. And so with that, we're going to jump over to Saoirse for a little bit, as the next phase of Jax's trial is going to be more lore based. So Saoirse,
Mhm.
as you had basically a free night to do whatever you want. So first thing you do is go to Quentin.
Yes. Because while I have been stunning, I don't want this face that rated an Inquisition base to be anywhere near my touchstones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the one thing I do ask that is he doesn't change my eyes. It's the thing that I asked when we originally did the face. Is like she wants to when she looks in the mirror to be able to see herself if she really needs to.
Okay. So you don't want to risk losing yourself completely. All right. Let me.
Because she knows, like, when they put everything back, it's the Quentin version of everything being how Quentin remembers it. So she doesn't want him to touch her eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a big risk.
Mhm. Like, she's not super attached as a like, she's very philosophical as a vampire. So, like, it's more important that her soul is herself versus the vessel that it contains.
Mm,
But she really feels like the eyes are the reflection that grounds and connects you to all of it. So she's very particular about that.
okay. Since Quentin Paul's not here, I will make a roll for him.
Okay.
And
Doesn't have to be pretty.
if you can make a stamina and resolve roll. Because it is resolve and protean versus stamina and resolve. 2. So Quentin would have you go back to the hospital with them and set you up in your surgery room where he has all his tools laid out, and Mr. Wiggles is there with him to assist you in your facial reconstruction. And all right, go ahead and roll your resolve and stamina.
All right, let me double check that I remember it correctly. Oh, it's one more than I thought. Okay. So I got a messy critical. So 2 normal and then the crit. So a total of 6.
Oh, well. Okay, well, you actually didn't really need to roll because you're going into this willingly.
Mhm. But
He did get 7 successes
Delightful.
because he had a bonus from being in the surgery room and Mr. Wiggles there,
Mhm.
giving him a hand and keeping him focused and on track. Almost walked out of there with a little face on your face, but
Mm-hmm. I'd expect
nope.
nothing less.
Yeah, he stayed on track and
You know what would be fun?
Mhm.
And he's like, mm-hmm. Another time.
yeah, another person.
Mhm.
Um, so with this, your face can be readjusted as you see fit. And while he's at it, if you wanted him to adjust your physical stats, he could.
That's a good question. I feel like Saoirse is sticking with her current with the good stamina and not great dexterity.
Mhm.
Because previously she was a 2 and 2. Dex is right now 1. It's fine. She doesn't dodge. It's fine.
Yeah. You-
If she tanks it, it's fine.
If you hit them first, you don't need to dodge.
Exactly. Her
Mhm.
thinking.
Yep.
So for now, she just wants to not just change the face, but the physical way that she even walks, kind of situation. Besides her eyes, she wants to be, and her hair, which she's gonna have to change herself, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
She'll,
The
I mean, I feel like it's possible that the Samitsi can do stuff like that, but Sarah's weirded out by it, so she's just gonna do her own thing later with the hair.
yeah they can technically move your hair follicles to other parts of your body,
Yeah.
but they
I feel
can't
like
really.
cutting it is still weird.
Yeah. Every night when you awaken, your hair would be back to as it was.
Mhm.
So if they just moved all your hair follicles around your body, like if you shaved your head and then moved them all, well, you would wake up the next night with hair just poking out all over the place at
Just
whatever
a hair
length it
ghillie
was.
suit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For sure. They for sure have done that to many people.
Yeah.
That's my canon.
Mhm.
So yeah, she'll cut and dye her hair herself, but she wants the physicality of herself, her face, and even a little bit of her vocal cords, to be different.
Okay. Um, yeah, with 7 successes, uh, it takes some time.
She's fine. She's committed.
several hours, but
Got nothing to
you
do.
you are fixed up as you see fit.
All right, I'm gonna go to NA and spy on my boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. It's an ex.
Yep. Booty call.
Maybe. Well, she's trying not to do that, but I know Saoirse, so
Yeah.
see how that happens. We'll see how
Yeah.
that goes. She makes poor decisions, especially when she thinks she can get away with it.
Mhm. So, just for I think we determined before that there is a super late night NA
hmm
group that he does tend to go to.
Mm.
Uh, but
I don't know if it's because he's working and that's when he gets off, or he just still has a weird life schedule that he does
yep,
for not legitimate reasons. I don't know what his life is like.
yep. But you do know he comes to
Where
this
he where he
meeting.
goes, for sure.
Yep, and he comes to this one pretty regularly.
Good. Good for
And
him.
uh, sometimes you've seen him going to this meeting looking a little bit better than other times. Sometimes
hmm
you can clearly tell he had a rough night and was relapsed. But tonight you get there, and it's in uh, an old,
Like
kinda
a
like an old,
community center.
yeah, like an old senior center type of thing. And uh, are you gonna just like walk in, or
Yeah, whatever the normal thing is if you sign in or if you like get a coffee and talk and shake hands. She's gonna do blush of life because I think she has to.
yep, yep, that is a rouse check.
I get no, it's only when I use discipline powers, huh?
Discipline powers of level 2 or lower, I think.
Fuck. Okay. What do you roll the red dice or the black dice?
Uh, red die. Technically, it
But
doesn't matter, but
it's skull. It's the bad.
yeah.
It's the worst. It's the
So
worst one.
you do gain 1 hunger.
Okay.
But as your blood burns into
Mhm.
action, your body appears to come back to life. Your
Okay.
heart beats, your face
Delightful.
flushes.
Hmm.
You once again take a deep breath and head
Hate it.
into
Hate it.
NA.
Hate the smell. It's fine.
hmm Yeah,
Mhm.
as you blush yourself back to life, your sense of smell gets a little bit better too, and
Unpleasant.
mm, yeah,
Mm-mm. No thanks.
smell of like old people because it's a senior
Mhm.
center.
And sweat
Yeah,
and unwashed bodies. Like not great.
yeah.
She
Uh,
sits right next to her boyfriend, who his name is Riley, the same name as her dog. This was all before me and Spencer got into a relationship. Just want to say that straight up. hmm
yep. And so you go in, you do the meet and greet, and get some coffee and a donut, and chit chat with some of the folks there, and then in the center of this room, there's a circle of chairs, and you go take a seat next to your ex.
Which is the physically closest she's been to him in years.
hmm
hmm
And being so close to him for the first time in a while, you can smell him and all the memories that go with that.
Oh,
They just come kicking down the door and flooding back in.
hmm
Memories of who you used to be,
hmm
with him, without him, what you went
hmm
through. And do you say anything during this meeting?
I for sure introduce myself to him so that I can touch his hand. Absolutely, during a handshake.
And
Mhm.
so as you go to introduce yourself,
Mhm.
he will like look over and just smile, and it's like, oh yeah, hey, I'm Riley.
Nice to meet you.
I'm an addict.
Me too.
Yep. I
I
come here
definitely
often.
don't. This is my well, this isn't my first time, but it's my first time participating in a long time.
Hmm. Well, hopefully you keep coming. It's a good group. Got me through some serious shit.
I truthfully don't know what I need right now. Like I'm trying this.
Mhm.
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a crutch to try to get me through. I think if I
Yep.
pretend that I'm getting help, that it's gonna help. Like it's gonna eventually be real.
Eventually, you quit pretending, and you are getting help.
I don't. I
Oh,
guess that's the hope, right? Like
mhm.
that's the hope.
You just have to accept the help,
That's
and
not it's not my strong suit.
it's all right. Even if you just pretend to accept it, you're going on the right path. Eventually, it'll wear you down.
Pretty
Because
tough.
you see Pastor Jimmy over there?
That one?
Yeah, he points at the leader of the NA group. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
he looks sweet, but he is a nagging, never-ending demon, I swear to God.
Demon.
Yes.
Like straight from hell, huh?
Yes. Yeah,
Hmm.
he will not let you go. He will not give up on you. And next thing you know, you'll be here every week.
I feel like
A-
I already am.
Ask anyone here. But then again, without him, we probably wouldn't be here at all. So probably would have ended up in a ditch somewhere a while ago.
Yeah, Flophouse is way more comfortable. Sorry,
And
that's probably poor taste.
we've all been there.
Yeah. I've hit some low lows the past couple years. A little lower than I thought I'd go, to be perfectly honest with you.
And you've got to accept what you've done. Because until you can accept what you've done and face yourself in the mirror, you're not going to get over it. Mm. Took me a few years to get to that point.
Only a few, huh?
Yeah,
Pretty good.
when you're a god like me,
Oh, for sure.
yeah, it's hard to accept you could do something wrong.
Yeah, I feel like I could tell that about you.
But I fucked up. We all do, so you know.
I guess that's what makes us human, huh?
Yeah, fucking up, growing from it, getting back up, and keeping going. Mm,
I like to tell myself that it's never too late to do the right thing.
I would have to agree. Can always you always fuck up, but the important thing is that you go back to it and keep trying. Try to fix it. Try to make it better.
Hmm. Yeah.
Even if the only way you can make it better is to walk away and remove yourself from that situation.
So I think Saoirse gets really quiet at that. Like she gets really like, "Oh, I was really into this until this moment, and now I remember why I stopped talking to Riley because it was the right thing to do. And I'm not doing the right thing right now." Yeah, she gets real quiet.
And he says like, yeah, that's just something I had to learn the hard way a while ago.
Mhm. I think that makes Saoirse mad, like, at the situation, not at him, like, not at him, like, at the situation of, like, "Yeah, that's exactly what we had to do." And she just sorta gets mad that that was the situation that she found herself in that relationship.
Hmm.
Mhm. She just sorta, like, keeps quietly sorta nodding, like, "Yeah, I get that."
And that's why you eventually get to the point where you got to forgive the people who do walk away, because even though you don't see it yet, they were helping you. They're helping themselves too. But
Alright, now she's just staring at the ceiling trying not to cry because she knows it's gonna be blood tears. Like
yeah, and he goes to start talking a little bit more about it, but then
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
pastor starts up the meeting,
Mhm.
which gives you a little break, a little
Yep,
breather
little
there.
little breather. Mhm.
Yep. And you see the different folks step up and speak and share stories of their struggles from the week, and um, different variations of like how they may have like screwed up, and then how they either did go about trying to right their wrongs, or how they want to, and a couple that even don't even know what to do
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
just feel totally lost. And after a handful go, the pastor looks around and is like, is there anyone else who would like to say anything? And kind of looks at you.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm. But if you don't make eye contact, he keeps going.
No, she'll make eye contact. Hi, my name is May. I'm an addict.
Hi, May.
Eh, Uh, this week has been really interesting. I I should be really proud of the things that I've accomplished. My personal life's going pretty great, actually. Uh, got a new apartment. The job I've been in, I got a promotion. My friends are doing pretty great, actually. Like, I really don't have a reason to be angry, but I am. Because as good as it is, I feel like something's missing. That, I'm not who I want to be yet. It's really tempting to slip back. And I don't know. Like I'm dipping into some old patterns and I haven't fallen yet. I haven't slipped off. But I know that I'm there. I'm almost there. I know that's going to take me down a path that's going to make coming back even worse. I think I want to choose the right up. I don't even know what the right thing is. I don't. I know what I want to do, and I know what I should do, but I don't know what the right thing is right now. So I'm here, and I'm trying not to fall. That's my week. That's me.
The pastor's like, thank you for sharing. And we've all been in similar spots where we're fighting that, falling off that wagon, and it's easy to fill that void with things like drugs. It makes us feel better when nothing else does, and to give up on ever having to just feel good naturally. But it's one step at a time, and we're all here to do that together. And insert inspiring quote here.
I think I've heard that one before.
Yes, a wise man once said it. He died in an air crash, but he was a wise man.
Mm-hmm.
And I would shift back to Jax, but he's not here.
I'll go get him. I can hear him. I'll be right back.
Okay. So while she goes and gets Jax, just gotta say, as a storyteller point of view, it is quite challenging to role play anyone who's like a recovering addict, and sometimes there are struggles you don't always fully understand, so it's hard to role play. And I don't always have the most inspiring quotes. Definitely one of those folks who I can listen, but I never know what to say. So, but we are going to shift over back to Jax's trial here in a second, and we're going to see how much lore he remembers.
Okay.
All right.
I was making tater tots.
Ah. Okay. So, yeah, the scene is going to shift back over to you, Jax.
Mhm.
And here we will find you in a small classroom where there's just a few individual desks on each side, and like the
Mhm.
instructor's desk up front. And they have you sitting right up front.
Okay.
And Justice is there and just leaning against the whiteboard in front of you. And you know that, or you hear and see as the Prince and the Archon step in a little bit after you've taken a seat and got settled in. And they just stand in the back of the class and watch without saying a word. And so the Magister begins. So this is the part of your trial where you get to demonstrate how much you know about us and where you come from. So to begin with, what can you tell me about the history of Clan Tremere?
I know that the first of our kind stole vampirism. They stole this, and he looks around the room, curse in their efforts to obtain immortality. That ever so sought after mortal toil. And in doing so, they captured some kindred, and through some manner of dark rituals were able to become what we are. And they were able to keep their connections to, well, to some degree, to keep their magical connections to the mortal world. Which explains why other clans cannot replicate what we can do. And then, do you want me to go forward into like the pyramid and stuff like that, or is like just the origins what we're looking for?
For right now, it's just the like origin, and so he'll ask, what do you know of us before we were kindred?
That we were a order of sorcerers. Whether or not it was the good kind or not is less up for interpretation and more lost to time.
Well, if you would ask me, I would say we were the best kind, but
Look what we are now.
Indeed.
Was it the best if we've gotten better?
Well, we still are the best. But we were the best mortal, and now we're the best kindred. So, with Jax. Okay. Yeah. Jax would know a little bit more of the fine details, even though as a player you probably don't remember every little thing, which is fine. I don't either. But I assume Jax would mention that, yeah, it was the Council of Seven that came together and performed the ritual, which then created or turned them into vampires, and then
they basically extracted quotes vampirism from actual kindred, which killed them in the process. But they weren't formally like turned.
Yep. And
they were not embraced. They did it themselves.
Yep. And with that, because of that, the other kindred, all the other clans didn't accept them. And partially because they didn't have a real progenitor, a real antediluvian. Which is what led Tremere, the founder of your clan, to
the White Worm.
Yep, to lead the hunt and find Salubrian, leader of the Salubrian. By diablerizing him, he became an antediluvian.
Ta-da!
And with that, you became a bona fide clan. Along with
And also the title of.
yeah. But yeah, usurpers.
It's a
But
pretty heavy metal way to become a vampire.
yeah. There was also a whole lot of political shenanigans and getting the Tremere to back you up so that to make like legitimize you.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like you have to have a nation actually like declare you're legit for you to be an independent nation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of like that. So that's kind of more or less what he looks for with that answer. It's going like that ancient history. And next he asks you what was and is the pyramid?
So the pyramid is okay. So what's the general consensus of the pyramid in the like grand scheme of the modern Tremere? Because I know that Serafina hated it, and Jax does too.
Mhm.
But as far as everybody else goes, what are their like? Can I say anything right now that would get my head cut off?
There's definitely stuff you can say that would get you killed.
You know,
in
Big Boy
relation to
Archon.
the pyramid.
Yeah.
Big Boy Archon, though,
Um,
right upstairs.
he's right there behind you. They probably wouldn't kill you right here, right now, but you wouldn't walk out of the trial.
Okay.
Because what the political situation for the clan worldwide is looking like right now is that even though the head of the pyramid was cut off when the Vienna Chantry got blown up, um, there is a large faction of the Tremere that are trying to rebuild it and get it reset up as it was. Go back to the good old days.
Where no one had free will and everyone served the pyramid.
And only men could be in power, and you did not answer. You did not question your superiors, and
Ever.
yeah, good old days. Make Tremere great again.
Hashtag make Tremere great again.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with this opportunity of the main chantry blowing up, you know that there were some other factions that were like, no, we're out. We're doing our own thing. For example, Serafina, the Prince of Crescent City, she is a follower within House Karna.
Mm-hmm.
And Karna was a Tremere who barely got away, broke free from the Tremere a little bit before the Chantry blew up, and took some followers with her, and made quite the name for herself. And as a lot of the Tremere were then broken from blood bonds, they actually got to choose, and so a lot of them chose to go with Karna.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she didn't really want them to. It was more of a like, we like what she's doing, we're gonna follow her. And she was like, no.
That's what
God
started this
damn
whole
it.
mess.
Knock it off. But so with House Karna, it's much more open, and so it actually does allow women to be in power and does allow your freedom. And it's usually seen more within anarchs. Lines up a bit more with them, but with the New Haven initiative being what it is, it was a perfect chance to kind of establish a place for Husqvarna while remaining under the safety of the Camarilla. But then there are a couple other sects that have been just anti-pyramid forever, like ones who broke off into the Sabbat, and yeah, a few other offshoots. But so it as for like, so the overall perception of the pyramid ranges. The official stance of the Camarilla Tremere is that at least what they show out of clan is that they're still strong as ever, and even if the pyramid gets reformatted, yeah, they support their leaders, type of thing.
Okay.
Um,
So,
and you know that there are basically, you would have heard by now that the Archon that's in town
mhm,
is a member of like the pyramid loyalists, who one of his roles within Clan Tremere, he holds a rank of Lord, so he oversees all the chantries in like Western United States,
mhm,
and any that are trying to break free from the pyramid get extinguished.
okay.
So,
So, safe play is to simply state just facts, and that's it.
facts, not opinions.
Yes. So he will do just that, and he will say that the pyramid was formed with the philosophy of a enforced is the wrong word, but a hierarchy. And the hierarchy was based on the decisions of this person, these people would act, and then these people would act, and so on and so forth. And it was a very well-running machine that was felled and dismantled. That's it. Like, this is what it was. This is what happened. That's it.
So the Magister will follow up with, so can you tell me a little bit about the major Tremere ranks within the pyramid? See how many of these you remember.
I haven't done much reading on this IRL.
That's
I read,
okay.
yeah, I read what the pyramid was, and I was like, that sounds really shitty and totally not what my character's all about. And then I was like, next page.
Yeah.
I went, it's gone. Skip.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So, yeah, you would know the general ranks,
Because
counselor,
it's not
pontifex, lord.
like, yeah, it's not like president, vice president. I'm not that shit.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, counselor. You are the council of 7 who got blown up. Pontifexes who rule entire countries. Lords who oversee large portions of countries. Then you have your regent, who's in charge of the chantry. Then you have your magister, which is the position you're trying to obtain right now,
Mm-hmm.
which is like a regent in training. And then you have apprentice, and then you got your baby acolytes, your slaves. And then
Yeah,
you know,
your acolytes.
yeah, and
The
then
worker bees.
you would know that if you can survive being an acolyte for long enough, you become an apprentice, and you have the 7 circles you have to work through, which you are technically taking the test right now to get through the 6th and 7th circles of apprenticeship and to become a magister. And you know that as you go up, of course, you get more and more freedom. And once you do become a magister, the regent, so the prince, no longer has the power to be able to directly command you to do anything. They now have to ask you to do things. Unless they get permission by the Lord, who the Archon, to basically boss you around. So if something crazy happens, like a magic black hole opens up, the Lord would probably be like, boss anyone around. I don't care. You have the power. But on day-to-day things, then they have to ask you. You also get the freedom of doing your own research on any blood sorcery you want. You get access to the whole library, so on and so forth.
Whew. That is a timeline variation of this current character that could be. Oh boy. Okay. Path of Curses. It's
You would
really
have access.
It's really nasty.
And with this, with the rank of Magister, you would be one of the few who are right below the Regent. You know that your sire and Justice are a couple of the Magisters here in Crescent City.
So my sire isn't even the Regent.
No.
Okay.
Your sire's Magister. The Prince is the Regent.
Okay. Just trying to put it into like perspective.
Yeah. So once you complete this trial, you would be, in the eyes of the pyramid, level and equal with your sire. So looking at my notes because I don't want to go into it. Next question is, what is our ruling on the sharing of blood sorcery?
You mean between clans?
Outside of Clan Tremere.
You don't. You simply do not.
Okay. And with that, one of the Clan Tremere, like bruisers, basically, one of their meatheads who are just security, comes in at this point.
That guy is spec'd in.
He's got the good stuff. But he brings in what you recognize to be a young Tremere, an acolyte. Well,
is it somebody that because I've had this job, is it somebody that I met and brought to the Chantry? Do I recognize their face?
no.
Okay.
I don't think so.
You hear that, humanity? You're safe. You're a nobody? Tatty, bye.
So, yeah, you would recognize this as a neonate adept, who an adept is another term for an apprentice of the fourth circle.
Is she licking her feet? Mhm.
And the guard pushes him to his knees in front of you and walks out. And the magister looks at you. It's like, this apprentice has been caught violating the rules of Clan Tremere. Not only did he cause a masquerade breach with the blatant use of blood sorcery, which was witnessed by mortals, but he was also caught teaching blood sorcery outside Clan Tremere.
To who?
Somebody who is dead now.
Good.
However, as part
Those are
of
his
your
real beliefs, by the way. He is all for that.
as part of your trial here, you get to determine what the punishment is for this apprentice.
He broke one of the most important rules. There's only one punishment. And it should be the exact same that was brought upon the person that he was teaching.
Mhm.
Sarah, the Crash Bandicoot. Death.
So
What are you? Death.
the yeah, justice kind of stands up and moves away. It's like, so have it be done. And he just gestures between you and the apprentice. Carry out justice.
Okay. I will draw electricity from the air around me, and I will zap him.
Good, make your rouse check and your roll.
No, yeah.
And as you make your rolls, we'll say this apprentice is on his knees in front of you, and as it kind of clicks what was just said, he looks up at you, makes eye contact in pure terror. And within him, you can see that, he's still a young kindred. He's
Was
a young kindred, and he had a similar reaction that most Tremere do when they have blood sorcery, of like, this is so badass. Of course, I'm going to share it and tell people.
so I just put in the Vampire the Masquerade Discord general chat the meme I was just talking about.
Okay. Yeah. Mhm.
I'll put it in the Facebook chat also.
Mhm. So you see that this kid starts to panic
Probably.
as he is looking
So
death in the face.
So it's resolve and blood sorcery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then +1 for the passive bonus, and so on and so forth.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, little one. So that is 1, 2, 3, 5, but it's a crit, so it's a total of 7.
Okay.
I'm sorry, little one. Oh boy, here I go killing again.
So, as you fill this poor soul's body with a whole shit ton of lightning, yeah, he screams in horror and agony as he is shocked to death, and his body begins to burn as he collapses to the ground dead. And quickly the guard comes back in with the fire extinguisher, gets it put out. But being he was still pretty young in regards to being a kindred, his corpse is still there and whole, and doesn't turn to ash, but is just a charred brick. And how's Jax feeling about that?
He broke the rules, and Jax didn't know him.
So does that?
He has never had a problem. It's very, very simple and stated rules. And the first thing that I did when I first became a Tremere is want to further my own abilities within what I was told I can do.
Mhm.
It was not to, as soon as I am told, don't do this, to go and do this.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
he's like, sorry, bud. I wasn't
Mhm.
there when you made this choice. I'm just here when you're punished for it.
And how does this play in with his convictions? Conviction of never harm the youth.
But it also is never break a promise, and he promised to maintain those rules.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Age is 24 and younger, but he's also a vampire.
Vampire younger than 24 years old,
But
but
that's a
still young.
whoopsie.
Okay. So you are protected from your other.
I'd say that he thinks that harm the youth is more for mortals than it is for kindred.
Mhm.
Because once you become a kindred, you should have, like, you should be able to kind of get it. And this guy just didn't get it.
Mhm.
So,
So,
sorry, bud. You
so he
lost.
feels even if the kindred's been a kindred for a day, he's no longer a youth.
Correct.
Okay. Good to
You
know.
when you become a kindred, you become something different. And he has always viewed it this way. Especially with himself. He has always viewed it this way.
That is really good to know. And I can tell you the priest likes that.
I'm sorry. I think that's just logic. I'm sorry. Is that not how all of us think, Saoirse? Do you not feel that same way?
No, she doesn't. She
Well,
feels like they become young again when they become a
that's
kindred because they're
that's tough.
stupid.
That's tough. You
So you're
carry all of
saying,
your previous life knowledge, and you are given immortality.
but then you're
And
given a whole new set of rules that you know nothing about as
he
you enter the game.
fucking wasted it.
He sure did. He
Mm.
fucked up.
And he
Absolutely.
wasted it.
So you're saying if your daughter became a kindred tomorrow,
There'd be a whole other list of problems first.
oh sure. But you would not consider them a youth anymore.
I would consider it my daughter.
Sure.
Your daughter?
And your daughter?
My daughter is also not 24 and younger. Like, it is, you're trying to make a comparison where there isn't one. This is a very logical person. My character Jax is a very logical person and is able to
But their
separate, especially.
humanity isn't.
Hold on. Even in this current scenario, he's like, you broke a rule. In his entire human life, he was like, you're told what you're not supposed to do, and they expect you to just not do it. And that's it. That's literally all you have to do, is just not do these things. And this guy heard this and went, cool, I'm gonna go do the exact opposite of what I was just told. You lost. And the same thing applies to every single kindred as far as he's concerned. It does, like, the scenario in which you can be turned is either like what he had, where it was very much like, so hold on, this is what you're going to become, this is the, like, here's the baby steps, or you can be turned and left in an alley. One of them is a more favorable position than the other one, but the same rules apply. And this guy, he was given an opportunity and he said, I don't need that. So if his daughter did become a vampire, I think her age would be the second or third problem. Other than, oh, okay, so this is, sure. And he'd probably spiral out of control. But that's not what we're talking about. We are talking about a Tremere that was given the same gifts and opportunities that I was, that immediately disregarded the warnings and did what he wasn't supposed to do.
You could, like, enslave him and torture him for a millennia. You
Or
didn't have to kill him. Didn't have to.
I can just simply cut the tumor out. Leave it in, the body can get sick.
And with that, the security guard drags that charred corpse out and comes back in again. But this time before you. He doesn't kick him to his knees, but lets him stand with a black bag over his head.
So it's a dude.
Yep. But you can tell that both from the smell and the way he looks, this is a Nosferatu.
Ickies.
And the Magister steps over again. This neonate here of Clan Nosferatu,
Wow.
he was
Wow.
caught attempting to sneak or force their way into the chantry.
A neonate. So that's, I'm an Insuli.
Yeah,
Neonate.
you were technically a neonate when you started the campaign, when you made your character.
So
And
he's a brand new vampire.
neonates are any vampires who are like 100 years of age or less.
Oh, okay. So he is
a fledgling is a
okay.
brand new. You're technically only an Insuli because of diablerie.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Um,
I skipped the line.
yeah. But so this Nosferatu technically could be older than you, but they're still a neonate. But yeah, so he says this neonate Nosferatu was caught attempting to sneak or force their way into the chantry. What should we do with them? And what should be said or done with Clan Nosferatu as a whole because of this?
Did the clan ask for this to be done, or was this simply a rogue agent?
We don't know.
They'll say the same thing either way.
Answers change. um, hmm. Here's a different question. What would the word be to Nosferatu Greater regarding what happens in this room?
That is what we would like to know of you. What would you tell the Nosferatu if you had to about what would happen in this room? How would
That
you
a
navigate this?
that a neonate was caught trying to force entry to the Chantry, a place of guarded secrets, a place of that is known for guarding secrets. Now, I know that the Nosferatu are, for lack of a better word, excited by that dirty word, secrets.
Mm.
So, we might be able to actually gain something. What if, to return said Nosferatu, we asked for some Nosferatu secrets? And if this is done, no word gets out about this at all.
Yeah.
Things are brushed under the rug all the time in our society.
Mm-hmm.
There is always an exception to the rule. And he says that knowing what he just did.
Yep. Welcome to Clan Tremere.
Yeah.
Hypocrites.
Fuck yeah, baby. Sometimes you're just, you're just born to do it.
Is there a way to benefit us? Okay, I'll be a hypocrite.
For sure. That guy was giving up our secrets? Fuck him.
Mhm. So, Regent nods, and so you would allow this kindred to live in exchange for secrets in which to repay or to kind of remedy
make up
their
to
trespass.
make up for this breach.
Okay. He just nods to the guard, who then leads the Nosferatu out.
And also Nosferatu had a bag over his head. That other guy did not. Which means there's a chance that Nosferatu was caught and bagged and didn't see the inside of the Chantry and all these things that he's going to remember. Versus the other guy totally did.
All right. And with that, we're going to actually shift back over to Saoirse. As the meeting with NA has come to a close, and everyone has been got up and has been helping put chairs away. Everyone starts filtering out. What do you do?
Like she intentionally lingers and dawdles to like stretch this out, especially if he's helping. Is the lady she mugged there?
No.
Okay. All right. So yeah, she's just kind of drawing it out as in to stay in his presence, but she's not trying to talk to him anymore.
Okay. So they finish tucking chairs away and saying goodbyes, and he starts making his way out.
He lets him go.
Okay. And so as you watch him walk out, the pastor comes up to you and he's like, "Thanks again for coming, and thanks for speaking up.
Oh, sure. Like,
Nice having you."
oh, it's nice to be here.
And he hands a card to you. Well, if you ever need to talk, always available.
Kind of a night owl. I don't know if that's going to be a problem.
Hey, that's why I run this group. So am I.
Good to know, man.
Even night owls
Appreciate.
need help,
True. I
or rather, he would
appreciate you.
say, even night owls deserve help.
Not going to disagree with Pastor.
Good, because he would smite you.
Absolutely. I don't know why he hasn't so far. Like, legit. Don't know why he hasn't so far.
Yeah. And so Saoirse heads out. And
Take her card with her.
Mhm.
She has no intention of calling him, but she also doesn't throw the card away.
Mm. And with that card acts a little bit of a reminder of what's gone on tonight, and helps really stick in that reminder of like why you left, and
Hmm.
that even if you're going to face things alone, that sometimes it's your battle to fight. I will give you another step towards recovering some humanity. Make a note of that somewhere.
A step? What step am I on? There's like
Uh,
12 in NA. Fuck.
I think you have like 3.
3 out of what?
That's a good question.
God damn it, Kevin!
You don't
Alright,
know.
3 steps.
The path to Golconda is long,
Yes, I'm just trying to get a little humanity, man. Like, Golconda's a little further down.
but it starts at 1.
Okay.
So
Alright, 3 steps toward humanity. That's what I put down.
mm,
I spelled humanity wrong, though.
yeah, there's actually no like set in stone
Absolutely.
rules for recovering humanity. It's just better take a lot of work. So
Mm-hmm. That's why she was like, alright, fuck my face up. I'm gonna have a real conversation with this dude.
mhm.
Instead of
And
just spying on him like I have been.
mhm. And with this interaction having come and gone, we'll say that your behaviors that you have had that had helped for such a long time, of merely like observing him and
Mhm.
like kind of watching over him will once again, be a little bit more effective like they used to be. A little bit more meaningful. And because you do know that, being directly in his life is a danger. And there's that reminder. But you still get to see him. And, getting to talk to him again won't kill you. But
But it's also not the way to be successful.
yeah. And that even though it's would help you, it's not the right thing to do. So where does she go from here?
She. So she's debating because she has a new face, but she also doesn't want the new face associated with all of her really important things. So there's the temptation to go to the gym and like talk directly to her other touchstone, but it's probably not a good idea.
Mhm.
So she's probably gonna try to gain a little bit more information about the people the Sisters of Iron don't like.
Mhm.
Like that gang that they took out a stash house on. She would like to
Yeah.
know a bit more about them. She doesn't want to take them on single-handedly, but she wants to get a better idea of like what's their territory, how do they operate, like kind of do a little bit of information gathering because while she likes that her domain is better, she doesn't feel good about leaving a defense undefended
Mhm.
either.
Okay. Yeah. So you're looking into the Blighted Legion.
Yes.
Okay. Do- So, and with this, you definitely are able to pull this off because you have recently been working on your underworld influence, and
That's where I was going to go with it.
it has been growing. And so you already have done some of the legwork. You know different people to talk to, and got a little bit of it in there. And um, they're not going to tell you just to fuck off when you show up.
Hmm.
Uh,
She is a different face,
mhm,
so she gets there's going to be some standoffishness
True.
there.
Yeah. And where is that darn thing?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and make a roll involving your streetwise.
Okay. I think I'm at 2 hunger, so I failed a rouse check.
Oh, yeah, so 200. And you can do streetwise with charisma, manipulation, intelligence.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
3 successes.
okay. So you're looking to get information about the Blighted Legion,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Working kind of with some of your street contacts and some of the influence you already have within the underworld, you do get a good idea of that. Yeah, the Blighted Legion is really well known for all kinds of drugs, and weapon dealings, and they're definitely known for the fake security scams where it's more or less their people roughing up stores, and then their people going in saying, "Hey, if you do the pay us, we'll protect you," and then they
Okay.
just stop having their people go in and rough it up. Yeah, the actual like security scams, and then that they've held control of most of Sunrise Point since like the early 1920s.
Oh, okay.
They've been around a while.
Okay.
And you guys did managed a pretty big blow on their operation,
Mhm.
being that you blew up a big part of their operation. Um, and you hear that they have been out for blood for whoever's responsible.
But they haven't pinned it on the iron.
The Sisters of Iron,
Yeah.
like, of course, the Blighted Legion's been fighting with the
Hmm.
other organized crime families, and definitely has hit the Sisters of Iron as possibly being responsible, but the Sisters of Iron didn't take responsibility for it.
Okay.
They
Harder move. Mhm.
they were like, "Well, that's freaking awesome, and we support whoever did, but it wasn't us."
Mhm. Okay.
And
Smart move.
yeah, there's another group that's called the Chaos Corp, and they took responsibility, but they take responsibility for everything.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
9/11, Kennedy, they're responsible for all of it.
I mean, that makes sense that there's one overarching person behind everything.
Mhm. So the Blighted Legion doesn't believe them. That's yeah.
Okay.
And was there anything else you were really looking for with that, or?
Not off the top of my head. Because, like, right now it's just the general information gathering. I I would say, like, she doesn't want to get anything actionable because
Mhm.
she can't act on it quite yet.
Okay. I will say, you are able to get, since you do have a new face,
Mm.
um, you are able to go into like a couple of their different bars that they frequent, and actually take note of some key figures. Because yeah, with your streetwise and everything as it is, you can tell when you can tell who's in charge. Like,
Who says they're tight with the crew and really they're like someone's cousin who doesn't ever do anything.
yeah.
Mhm.
So, uh, you pick out a few of the key members within the gang or within the family, and um, on the bright side is that if you change your face again, they'll never recognize you, but you'll know them.
Mhm. Okay,
Um,
that's good. That's
yeah,
that's it's meaningful.
and
I don't think she has anything else she wants to do with this new face necessarily. I think she'd want to get set back at
okay.
this point.
So then we will transfer back over to Jax,
Hmm.
and the scene now is set with you in a like a small meeting room within the chantry. Uh, Round table in the center of the room, and there sits Justice across from you, and the Prince on one side, and the Archon on the other side of him. And They're just still stoically watching and observing. And Justice asks of you to explain what are your goals? What are you working towards? Like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? What's your ambition?
Hmm. Huh. Let's see here. In another 10 years' time, I'd like to master it in another path of sorcery. Furthering my own knowledge and, with any luck, the status of Clan Tremere itself.
And what else do you desire?
To push forward and increase the potency and power of my own blood. To skip ahead
Mhm.
any way possible.
Give me a wits insight roll.
Six total with a crit.
Okay. It is barely perceptible, but as you say, you mentioned strengthening the potency of your blood. You can see just the slightest smile almost break through the prince's lips. Oh, an approving, yeah, like she approves of your answer. Whereas the Archon, his eyes narrow just slightly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Magister asks, and what drives you to increase the potency of your blood?
Channeling any strength that I'm currently gaining. I've been spending a lot of time focusing on improving very specific aspects of myself and my abilities, and that is among them.
And
As and to go into further detail, he goes, as displayed by my lack of knowledge in certain areas, but my mastery over the path of Levenbolt, which until recently very few, if any, in Crescent City were actually pursuing and were capable of doing. And in a very short time, especially amongst such a rare path, as I've been told, it's very unheard of for it to be done that fast. So when I say I am focusing very hard on very specific pieces of my abilities, I mean it.
I'm curious, what's it all for? What will you do with this power when you have it?
The same thing any of us do. You hold on to it.
All right.
We acquire and we keep. I shared what information I was finding from uh, the Elder's Library. I shared the information that I had regained
Mhm.
with the Chantry.
Mhm.
I returned lost knowledge.
And you returned that which was taken by the turncoats, who now stand with the freedom fighters, which is appreciated. What do you know of what can you tell me about the ambitions of Clan Tremere here in Crescent City?
The clan specific, or
Yep, the clan as a whole. What are they doing? What are they working towards? What do they want?
as far as I can see, unifying the Camarilla. We historically have not done very well when nobody sides with us. And all we've ever really wanted to do is to gain a seat, and we're trying to show that we earned it and that we know what we're going to do with it, and that it's for the betterment of kindred kind.
Another wit's insight.
I'm gonna take a picture of it. Okay. I just sent it to the vampire group chat.
Nice. So, yeah, 8 successes.
And that's a messy crit.
Messy crit with 8. Yeah. Um. hmm. So part of your clan compulsion is like seeking perfection. And although you're not going to be subject to your compulsion right now, your beast has that sense of like there is that you need to be doing perfect in this situation,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of heightens your senses involuntarily
Mm-hmm.
using your Auspex power of heightened senses.
Mm-hmm.
And with this, you see and can gain a little bit of insight into uh, that as this question was asked, you could see that the prince's muscles tensed ever so slightly as yeah, there are definitely ambitions that the prince is working towards that, she's probably not too sure if you know about, but she sure the hell does not want this Archon to know.
Mm-hmm.
And it relaxes a little after you answer in such a way that yeah, she's like, definitely not what their ambition is, but it's a good
Like,
enough answer.
so I, the player, know about Seraphina, what she's working towards, but the character does not.
It's even further that on a player level, there's something else, something even bigger going on.
Yeah, then
That
nothing.
and like your character kind of gets that sense as well. Like there's, she's the New Haven Initiative and all that, but there is something much deeper
Because,
that
well,
she was
so I
actually
guess at
afraid
the end of
of.
everything, it's like, yeah, she's still a Tremere.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she's so far had really good intentions and is actually working towards making something good here.
But
But
why?
I'm positive, as is everybody, I'm sure, that it's not for an altruistic, like, I'm not doing it just because I want to make life better.
Mhm.
It's a side effect of making life better for everybody is a side effect of what her goal is.
Making a note real quick.
A good one?
Yes, making. Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, so the Magister will speak up again. With this will conclude the first portion of your trial. But now you enter phase 2. Phase in which you must face the real world, which as a Magister you will do, and you will be expected to excel at. We accept nothing less than excellence from our Magisters. We expect you to be able to make the best decision for Clan Tremere, even if it is not the best decision for yourself.
Understood.
We expect that you can represent the clan in a specific way. Even if something is outside of your own capabilities, we want to see how you handle that. So we
Okay.
have a few things we need you to do. And as a Magister, you will have the freedom to go about things as you see fit. So with this, you do not necessarily have to do these things alone. You can once so you don't have to do these things alone. Lost my train of thought there. Damn it.
Parents.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So You simply must accomplish what you're set to do. You can do them any way you see fit. Technically, you don't even have to do them. The job just has to get done. But in all fairness, we will be watching, and we will be determining how things play out for you based on how you go about this. So step one of this, step one of phase 2, you are to obtain the bones of a werewolf. And no, you cannot take bones from the chantry. Next, you will require the essence of a wraith.
Mm-hmm.
And sets a metal vial in front of you. We need you to obtain the vitae of Sheriff Aiden. And lastly, we need you to determine if 2 of the Banu Hakim within town have been breaking the rules. There's a rumor out there that they have been diablerizing Kindred beyond what they were permitted to while performing their role as Scourge. And we just need to verify this. So we need you to figure out if there's any validity to that.
Okay.
And he glances to the Archon and Prince, and it's like, I'll be totally transparent with you on this one.
Sarah,
We'll-
it's an insight check.
We will also be watching how things play out with your party.
Okay.
This party that you're throwing is actually a pretty good way to see how you navigate our society independently.
Okay.
Hopefully you succeed and it goes well, because that will reflect well on you and your trial.
Sarah, you're jumping ahead. She's we framing people? My thought went to who the fuck has Quentin been talking to?
Yep. Do you have any questions?
I'd ask how to find you, but I assume you'll hear about it the second it's done.
Yeah, no. Well, you know I'm here at the Chantry, and if I'm not, then they'll get a hold of me. And
Proof or frame? It was me all along. Oh god. Okay. Yep, the implications of that is oh boy. Are we framing a fucking scourge for diablerizing Dr. Crucio? Oh dear.
Yep. All right, and then if there's no questions,
That's it.
you may go, and we
Okay.
look forward to hearing from you. The sooner the better.
Noted.
Would hate to see you be stuck in this trial for 10 years.
I'd hate it too. You saw what I've been able to do with such a short amount of time. I'd hate to be sitting here for.
Yeah. And with that, we will wrap it up for the night. Well,
I
first,
just texted Paul. So, we might be framing the scourge for eating Crucio.
yeah.
Unintentionally, of course.
Oh,
Completely not a Tremere thing.
It wasn't my idea.
yeah. Quentin will put your face back as you want.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. I just do things.
So we might pick up next session with running a scene where Quentin has to go feed his Inquisitor one more time. And that would be on this night.
Oh.
So.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah.
But like, legit, inside check, do they want it framed or do they need it, like, are they trying to rule it out? Like, what are we doing here? Are we finding real proof? We ruling it out? We framing? There's 3 options here.
And they want you to find an option.
God damn it.
They don't have an answer for you. They want you to.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Make a choice.
No.
And just to clarify, they would have mentioned that the Banu Hakim who are suspected of this are in my notes, and they've got names.
Are they the coterie we've been helping?
No.
Okay.
So there are two Banu Hakim, Amira Bahar and Nadine Bahar, and they, although the Banu Hakim Primogen is also the official scourge, they kind of work in tandem with him, but it is not the actual Primogen that you guys have seen and worked with in the past that is in question. It is the sisters. And yeah, they are seen even less than the scourge is seen.
Didn't think that was possible.
Mm-hmm. If you think his resting bitch face is bad, can't wait to see theirs.
Mm-hmm. Humanity 2 all the way.
Yep.
All
right. So yeah, we will wrap it up there. And we gotta, get a hold of Paul to, stop the stream.
Oh, new audio device detected is also being displayed.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I was just looking to figure out where the hell is that coming from, but it's on Paul's computer.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
High quality. That's what we are. We're all class here.
In response to the,
Hey,
we might be
gotta
framing
wrap
the
up the stream.
scourge.
Okay. Okay.
In
What's
in
up?
response to the scourge thing, Paul's response was, "Oh, like, oh shit."
And we might be fucking the sheriff over.
Well, if it isn't the